Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be comparing a 2021 Lincoln Aviator Reserve to a 2021 Ford Explorer Platinum. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Ford Lincoln here in Provo for providing us with the Aviator and the Explorer. Check out their inventory link below. Let's get straight into the video. Let's go into the hoods of both the Explorer and the Aviator. So starting over here with the Explorer, we have a twin turbocharged 3-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 365 horsepower and then 380 pound-feet of torque. Going over to the Lincoln, we have a 3-liter twin turbocharged V6 with the same amount of fuel economy and then the same transmission. However, the power output's a little bit different, 400 horsepower and then 415 pound-feet of torque. So same fuel economy but more power, same fuel economy, less power. And that's everything for under the hoods. Let's go over the front ends of both the Aviator and the Explorer. Starting over here with the Explorer, you can see that you've got like that signature Ford hood with the bulges on either side, and then you do get these full LED lights which just look really good. I love the LED accent light as well. And then you got the massive Ford front grille with the Ford emblem. Parking sensors along the front. You do get fog lights as well. But again, just kind of like that normal signature Ford look. Whereas over on the Lincoln, notice everything's a little bit more rounded off, including the design on the lights. Again, full LED lights. And then you've got the fog lights here at the very bottom, which is pretty interesting. That's actually the turn signal right there. And then massive Lincoln front grille. And again, parking sensors along the front. But again, just kind of like more rounded off for the overall design. And that's everything for the front. Let's go over the tire and wheel setup on both the Explorer and the Aviator. Starting with the Explorer on this side, we've got 21-inch wheels with 275mm tires. Over to the Aviator, we've got 22-inch wheels, again with 275mm tires, so just a little bit bigger wheel over there on the Aviator. As for the design, you kind of have like a basic chrome design here with the Ford. Going over to the Lincoln though, way more intricate. I mean, it just looks a whole lot better from a design perspective. I think you guys can agree with me. It's pretty straightforward. Got the Aviator plaque right there on the side, and then you have like a little Explorer thing, but like it's really hard to see and it's on the bottom of the vehicle. But notice the molding here, and then over on the Aviator, it's actually pretty similar. But let's head to the back. Go over everything in the trunks of both the Explorer and the Aviator. So coming over to the Aviator first this time, you can see that storage space back here is okay. You actually get this little thing right here that you can pick up for some more storage space, and then you do get a 12-volt on the side. The seats are pretty cool, so you can lower them individually or with this button right here, and then that'll do both the seats. But the cool thing about that button is if one of the seats is down and the other one is up, for example, and you press that button, then it'll lower one and raise the other. So it's pretty cool how it just does it with whatever the seats are at currently. But yeah, that's everything in the back of the Aviator. Coming over to the Explorer, you can see that we still have a little storage area just underneath, and yes, we still have the seat thing. So you press that or hold that down, sorry, and then that'll do the same thing where it'll lower down the seats, and then you still get a 12-volt next to it. So from a functionality standpoint, it's identical in the rear of both of them. And then again, just press that again, and then that'll pop them both up. Or, well, I don't know, I just work here, guys. But anyways, that is everything for the back of the Explorer and the Aviator. Let's go over everything in the rest of the rear of the Explorer and the Aviator. Going over to the Aviator, again, you've got that giant light bar in the back, which is super sweet. Everything's more rounded off here in the rear of the Aviator. You got all the exhaust tips. Now, towing capacity is about 6,700 pounds with the Aviator. Going over to the Explorer, notice everything's a little bit more boxy. You still got the LED lights similar to what is on the Expedition. Again, exhaust tips are actually pretty similar on both of them. And then towing capacity on the Explorer is about 5,600 pounds. Notice the receiver hitch is just exposed there, whereas on the Aviator has a bezel to cover it, so it looks a little bit cleaner. But that is everything for the back. Let's go over the backs of both the Aviator and the Explorer. Starting over here with the Explorer, notice that you got this nice white leather all across the door panel, contrast nicely with the piano black trim. And then yes, you do get a sunshade. And then coming over to the seat here in the rear, notice you got the really nice headrest. And you have all the really nice leather with the perforations all down the center. And then you can see you've got some climate controls right here and heated seats in the rear as well. And then if you guys are wondering, in terms of the third row, again, I usually would reserve that for kids. The headroom's fine, it's just the legroom's a little bit tight. But the second row, you can easily fit people, and I'll just pop in so you guys can kind of see how I fit. I'm 5'11". Headroom is pretty decent. There's actually a vent right next to my head, which is pretty cool. And then you can see legroom is solid as well. And these seats are just really comfortable. But we're gonna pop out now and pop over into the Aviator, which now we can kind of open the door up just a little bit more. But notice again, you still got the little sunshade right here, still got all the soft touch on the door. It's just everything's kind of like blacked out in this one, and then the electric door opener. Then notice a couple speakers for the sound system. And then here are the seats in the rear. And this one has a bench seat configuration, so a little bit different. But you can see nice perforations in the center, really nice bolsters, all that kind of stuff. There's the bench seat. And then you still get the same little climate control thing here in the rear. Still get the power outlets. And if you guys don't trust me, well, here so you can visually see it for yourself. Headroom and legroom feels identical between both of them. Now here's the door panel at the front of the Explorer. Again, you've got that really nice soft touch leather all over the door panel. You have the black at the top, and then they contrast it with the white just down below. Memory seats right next to the door lock and unlock, and then you have all of your window controls here with your mirror adjustments as well. And then coming to the seats here at the front, again, you've got the really soft touch leather. You've got the platinum logo there at the top, nice perforations all throughout. And then you can see the bolsters. Just look how soft these seats are. They're so comfortable to sit in. And then you can see you've got the little hood latch release right here, and then you've got all the adjustments for the seat pedal layout there at the bottom, and then the light controls just up above with the steering wheel adjustment. And there's one more look before we pop in. Now let's briefly go over the interior on the Explorer. So you've got soft touch all around the steering wheel with the black contrasted stitching, and then you actually have some nice wood trim there at the bottom of the steering wheel. Paddle shifters on the back so you can shift the gears yourself. And then you have the little stalk for the turn signal, and then the windshield wiper stalk on the other side. And then coming here to the center screen, you've got the controls to the center stack, your voice command and phone controls. And then you can see over here, you've got the adaptive cruise control function with the lane keep assist, and then your volume controls as well. And then coming here into the center screen, you can see it's a full digital readout. You can scroll through a couple different menus to give you different bits of information on the Explorer itself. Pretty straightforward. But the cool party trick here has to do with the drive modes. So you've got the drive mode select. You can see you've got quite a few drive modes. You've got the normal, and then you have the slippery, you've got the trail, and then you've got the deep snow and sand. We'll pop over to the trail. I love the graphics for it too. It just has like really cool graphics. But notice how it actually changes kind of like the background of the screen, makes it look a little bit different because obviously it's supposed to be like an off-road drive mode. Now the coolest one is not the Eco, but the Sport. So the Sport's super aggressive looking, makes the whole screen red and aggressive, and that's my favorite look right there. It's just super, super unique, and I love it. Now here is the center screen in the Explorer Platinum. Let's pop it into reverse first and foremost so you guys can see the camera system aspect of it. So you can see you've got a backup camera. You can zoom in on the receiver hitch, and then you do have the bird's eye view with it as well. And then you can just press this and that'll go through the different camera views for you on top of that, which is pretty neat. And then as for the rest of the screen, you can see response time on the screen is actually pretty decent. Like everything you press, it happens pretty much instantaneously. Now you do get ambient lighting here, which is pretty neat, but the cool party trick with the screen is going to be with the seats. You can see that you do have the massage function here with the Platinum, so you pretty much get all of the luxury features. Just down below the screen, you've got this little button for the camera system, so you can pop it on or off. And then this for the parking sensors. You've got your analog radio controls, and then you've got your analog climate controls. Again, you've got a tri-zone climate, 2 for the front, 1 for the rear. You've got your heated seats here, your ventilated seats, and your heated steering wheel control, and then over for the passenger as well, except they don't have a steering wheel, so that doesn't exist over there. And then coming down to this little area, you can see that you press that, and there's a little bit of storage space down here, and there's actually a little couple of USBs and a 12 volt at the end of it. Couple of cup holders in this area. Here is the dial select, and by the way, if you want to manually shift the gears yourself, just press the M for manual. Parking brake right here, and then you've got the auto hold right there. And then this is the drive mode select that I showed you guys. That's your auto stop start. That's your parallel and perpendicular parking assist, your hill descent control, and then that's your traction control to turn it on or off. And then we've got the full center console here. can see that you've got a little cable thread through, and then in front of it, this is where the wireless phone charger sits in the Explorer. Wood trim all along the dash. You've got leather all along the dash as well. Just look how nice this actually is all along. Everything is covered in nice materials here in the Platinum. And then opening it up, you can see decent amount of storage space there on the glove box. And then finishing things up, we can see up top here, we've got a little sunglass holder, and then this does have a full panoramic sunroof, which is really nice. Universal garage door openers up top, and then the controls for the center for just in that little area. Coming over here to the door panel of the Aviator, notice that we've got all of the soft touch here along the door panel. You actually have the adjustments for the seat there on the side of the door panel with all the memory seat controls. And you got a couple speakers for the sound system. All of your window controls, your mirror adjustments right here. And then you've got a little opener for the door. Coming to the seats at the front. So these seats look a whole lot cooler than what's in the Explorer, but I'm actually noticing that the Platinum has softer seats compared to this Aviator. These seats are not firm by any means. They're still soft. The Explorer seats are just softer. Cool little Lincoln plaque right there, and then you can see you've got the pedal layout at the bottom, the hood latch release, and then we've got this to open up the rear hatch or light controls, automatic steering wheel, and there's one more look before we pop in. Quickly go over the interior here on the Aviator. So you can see you've got a really nice steering wheel with leather all around, and then the airbag cover is also covered in leather, which is really nice. Now the steering wheel does have some cool party tricks. So first off, paddle shifters in the back. Got your normal stock for like the turn signal and the windshield wipers. Nothing too crazy with that whole setup, but this is pretty cool. So depending on what menu you're actually in, it'll change on the steering wheel, which I think is a really cool little feature. So you can see how the steering wheel controls will change, and then the cruise control illuminates that little portion. So it's cool that they've got those little screens. And then you can see you've got a little voice command button as well. Now, actually coming into the center screen, you can see it's a full digital readout. And then again, you've got a couple different menus you can scroll through. So like I can go over to the navigation, for example, if I want, or I can go over to my music if I want. That's pretty neat. The other cool thing is with the drive modes. So you've got a bunch of different drive modes. You've got the normal, you can see you've got the slippery and then the deep snow conditions, and it'll change the screen slightly depending on what drive mode you're actually in, kind of like focusing on what you need to be focusing on with the drive mode. My favorite though is the Excite. This is like the sport mode over in the Explorer. Makes things look a little bit more aggressive, but more importantly, it also shows you the RPM of the vehicle. Now here's the center infotainment system in the Aviator. First and foremost, let's pop it in reverse. You can see the camera system. You've got the backup camera with the little zoom in function onto the receiver hitch, and then the bird's eye view as well. And then there's that little camera button just down below. You can press that and pop it on. And then there's a little parallel and perpendicular parking assist button you can press. I cannot say that word for some reason. Too many P's in one sentence. But this also has the massage seats and the ambient lighting, so you can pop over. You've got the massage, and you can see that this is all pretty much the same, nothing too crazy. We're going for relax and recovery today because I'm tired. Just down below, we've got a couple of vents here. We've got our gear selector just in that little area, just a bunch of little buttons that you press. So you either get a dial or you get buttons, pick your choice. Nice wood trim here with the radio controls and then the climate controls. Again, heated and cooled seats and a heated steering wheel in the Aviator. And then you have all this really nice trim here, which you've got the wireless phone charger in this little section. It's pretty hard to see just because of the lighting right now. A couple of USBs, but trust me, there's a phone charger in there, I promise. A couple of cup holders in this area. Your parking brake, your drive mode select. And then you got the center console, which absolutely massive, and I love the leather here on the top of it. And then look at the dash. Again, nice leather, nice wood trim. But this part in the dash, the Explorer has covered in leather, and this does not. Interesting. Coming over to the glove box, you can see it lined in felt, nothing too crazy with that. And then finishing things off, we can see up top here, we've got the little sunglass holder, and then you've got the controls for the full panoramic sunroof and the universal garage door openers. Now let's go over pricing on both of the vehicles. So this Aviator Reserve stickers for about $75,000, and then this Explorer Platinum stickers for about $59,000. So you can see there's a pretty big price difference, about $16,000 between both of the vehicles. Now obviously we do have to pick a winner for today's video, so let's get into some things. First off, from an exterior styling perspective, the Aviator is just more beautiful than the Explorer. The body lines, the profile, everything, it's so good looking, especially the wheels too. Just all of it is really good looking, has way more road presence. but the Explorer is still a really good looking vehicle. The Aviator has more power where the fuel economy is the same between them, but if you want more power, just get an Explorer ST. Now, obviously the Aviator does have the air suspension. It rides a lot nicer, so the ride quality, all that kind of stuff from a luxury perspective is a lot better. However, the other thing to consider is the interior in both of them. So the interiors are actually pretty similar. Now, the interior on the Aviator kind of like overall looks a little bit more beautiful, but you have pretty much just as nice materials in this Platinum as you do in the Aviator. You have all the same functions: panoramic sunroof, massaging seats, heated cooled seats, tri-zone climate. You have all the same stuff in the Explorer at a significantly lower price. So for today's video, I'm going to pick the Explorer Platinum as a winner, even though it has a little bit less power, even though it's less beautiful. $16,000 is a lot of money, and the fact that the seats here are nicer and you have leather over the dash and you do not even have leather over the whole dash in the Aviator, it's kind of weird, and that's why the Explorer wins. But I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below, Explorer or Aviator. That is going to sum things up for today's video, comparing the 2021 Ford Explorer to a 2021 Lincoln Aviator. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Ford Lincoln here in Provo for providing us with both of the vehicles. Check out their inventory in the link below. I will see all of you in the next video.